Well, Vogue turning 100 is definitely a significant milestone because they've been at the forefront of culture and style and art for the most important century in probably all of humanity.
It's exciting in terms of a consumer perspective, so I'm really keen to go and see what's going to happen this year and what's happening at the exhibition. But I also think that in this day and age, for a magazine, a print magazine, to have a 100th anniversary is amazing.
The most amazing thing about Vogue is the statement of intent that they wrote in 1916 in their first issue, and that was that nervous people shouldn't buy this magazine because it contains thrilling surprises. I think creativity can't exist without courage, and I think the amazing thing is Vogue had stayed true to that statement since the first issue was published here in Britain.
What I think is really special about advertising in Vogue is, or what is unique about it, is the way that people consume it. You see someone reading Vogue and it's just absolutely amazing the way they kind of pore over and devour the ads. I mean, that never happens with print ads anywhere else. People want the ads as much as they want the content.
I really agree that that Vogue's advertising is as valued as the content. I don't think that they would have year-on-year record September issues with, you know, 500, 800 pages of advertising in, if that wasn't the case.
Vogue is incredibly inspiring for a creative person, mainly when you see how they have given artists and designers, illustrators, photographers such free rein and the ability to express themselves in the publication. That's the thing that can really inspire you when you're working on creative ideas.
I think one thing advertisers have to do in a magazine like Vogue is make sure that the advertising imagery maintains the standard that the editorial imagery sets.
I think it's also really interesting to look at advertising on the Vogue website. When they relaunched in 2014, I think traffic to the website went up something like 80%. And there's actually really high engagement with their ads on there.
One of the interesting things that they did is when they sort of embraced digital format, they really retained creative control of the ads, and I think a lot of other magazines didn't do that, and they kind of embraced the world of advertising in its wider context and kind of let anything sit next to a beautiful image or a beautiful article, and Vogue don't do that, and I think that's kind of stood them in good stead for being one of the magazines that people will still turn to across whichever device they use.
I think that there's a real missed opportunity if you look at what's happening within Vogue, where I think advertisers could be much smarter. There's so much technology in our hands, and it could be much more dynamic, much more personalized and much more innovative, and I think you would get much more value out of those incredibly loyal audience.
Coming next for Vogue could be what's coming next for lots of brands, so looking at VR and how that could bring people closer to the experience in terms of a fashion experience, both through advertising and through the editorial. And then I think it would be interesting to see how they adopt, especially in places like Pinterest, the kind of shop now feature, because, you know, it's a commercial magazine. A lot of the revenue in there is driven through advertising, and people buy the clothes. So creating that more seamless journey from seeing the ad to buying it to wearing it and then be seen on street style might be quite a good way of sort of heralding the future.